Tonight, I want to talk about three mindset shifts that help me to achieve my dreams. And that are helping me to achieve my dreams because my dreams are not over, they're actually continuing. And I want to reference specifically this year because a lot of things that I had planned, I had envisioned happened this year. And even though the year is not over, I see this as a way to really, really start reflecting. And it's kind of like normal because in December, I think all of us go into this reflecting mode. And I want to share them with you in case that could also help you on the journey that you are on. So a lot of people ask me, or when people generally see me, they see me from different facets, right? There's a side of me that is the medical doctor that the medical community knows, and the clinical research community knows. There's a side of me that is the remote work coach, what that the people that have helped landing remote jobs know. And then there's a side of me that is travel with Clem, the content creator that the travel community knows. And regardless of the angle that you know about me on the side that you're more familiar with, I wanted to share this because like the mindset shifts that I had to make for me to be able to get to the point where I am right now, even though that's not my final destination, I have applied these to every single sorry sorry, one second. I have applied this to every single aspect that you might know about me, and I want to share them with you. So a lot of people usually ask me like, how do I do this, how do I make this happen, and look at me as this inspiration, which I am forever grateful for. But I think that the way in which I live my life is essentially to show people that you can too. So the first mindset shift that personally I had to make was realizing that if others have done it, so can I, right? Having grown, I'm African, from born and raised in Cameroon. So when it comes to the rest of the world, I always usually say I was raised by an African mom, and people who know African moms, African parents, kind of like get it. But I was trained to basically always aim at excelling, right? And for a lot of people, it was kind of like a negative thing, but for me, it was actually a positive thing because I always strive to do better, to go higher, to push more, even when I felt like I had reached my limits. And so my mom would usually ask me when I come home with the report card, okay, you had a B plus, the person who got the A plus, what are they eating? What is their parents doing that I'm not doing for you? What kind of bed are they sleeping in? What do they have that you don't have, right? And for me, that was a motivation for me to actually just continuously tell myself that I can be better. Every single time I can be better, I can be the best not necessarily compared to somebody else, but the best compared to who I was before. So that mindset shift, I have it from the time I was a child, and it's always at the back of my mind that if other people can do it, then so can I. And that has pushed me to want to surround myself with people who are doing the things that I want to do, and to look at how they operate, to look at what they are doing, to look at what they are doing well, because nobody is doing anything perfect. But when you want to learn from somebody, look at what they are doing well and try to incorporate that into the way you operate. The second mindset shift that helped me was really leaning into who I am in God. And I said that in yesterday's video, and I want to position it more as in I can do beyond what I can imagine or think. I am a firm believer that the fact that we are made to the image and likeness of God means that we are capable of the most incredible, amazing things. And personally, I feel like a lot of times when I doubt myself, right? I have an idea and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, right? I ask myself, okay, but where did this idea come from though? Like, I didn't just decide, like, I wasn't just looking for ideas. The idea came to my mind, and then my human self with my limits assumes or considers that, okay, it's crazy because it's way beyond what people have already seen or what have ever done. And to me, it just kind of like, again, just to reference yesterday's video in case you didn't watch it, to reference that by saying that, ideas come through us, and there's a reason why ideas will come to you and will come to me, because I have the capacity and the capabilities to bring it to life. And so acknowledging that and understanding that if an idea is coming to me, it's because I am equipped and capable, and even if I don't see right now, I have the resources, or I can tap into different resources to make it happen. So that mindset shift of just understanding that I am capable beyond what I can imagine, to achieve things. Help me to really, I don't want to necessarily say like shoot for the stars, because it's kind of cliche, but like respect and honor the ideas that I have, and just build on each idea and bring it to life and develop and continue going. And the more I did, the more I realized I could do, and the more I just push, and the more I just trust myself. So I think leaning into that aspect of me and who I am in God, and also getting the strength from God, really changed my way of approaching every single thing that I do. And so now when an idea comes, even if I'm afraid, and if I'm like, Jesus Christ, how am I going to do that? I always try to, lean into that, and just so I can get the strength and realize that, I can actually do it. And then the third mindset shift that helped me to really achieve my dreams and my goals this year is realizing that, the universe conspires to give me what I want, and the power is within me. And some people might think, this is wishy-washy, whatever, but it also goes back to what I just said about the previous point, where I'm capable of things. And I firmly believe that we are powerful beyond measure. And if, like, as humans, we have the power, to make things happen, right? To command situations, to decide on things, and to make them happen. And I think when you want something hard enough, bad enough, adamantly enough, crazy enough, not crazy, but like when you want something deep down in your heart and you work towards it, the universe, nature, the elements, opportunities, people are going to make it happen for you, because the energy that you're actually generating to make it happen is propelling you into that forward motion for you to actually make it happen. And for me, it was also a matter of just like tapping into who I am as a human, but also who I am within the world, within nature, within the other elements of God's creation, and really tapping into that, because I strongly believe that everything that we have, everything that surrounds us, every relationship that we have, and even where you are, right? It's a breeding ground for you to get to your next destination, or can actually help you achieve whatever your goals are. And a lot of times we focus so much on what we don't have instead of just looking at what we have. Something is coming to my mind. It's not Sunday, I know, but I remember when God appeared to Moses, and he had given Moses what his mission was going to be, right? After he had, escaped to hide after what he had done. And Moses was kind of like scared and was like, how am I going to be able to free your people, right? And God wanted to show his power and to show him that he is with him. And he asked him, what do you have in your hands? It was a staff, right? And then God changed the staff, into a snake. And then he showed Moses that, this is my power and you are not alone. And essentially God did that miracle with whatever Moses had at the time. And I think a lot of times it's a good thing for us to look for like more, for us to be able to do better and bigger things. But it's before you can look for more, I think you need to start with where you are. And that's kind of like the point I want to drive back home, that sometimes you want to do bigger things, and you feel like because you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have this camera, you don't have this equipment, you don't have this partner, you don't have this person, you don't have this community, that you can't do anything. But how about you start with where you are? How about you start with what you have right now? What kind of resources do you have right now to bring that mission that you have and that vision that you have to life, right? So I just want to share this with you. Let me know which one is your biggest takeaway. And for this vlogmas, I know in the first video I said that I was gonna do it like specifically travel videos, and I will still be releasing travel videos every day. I will try my very hard, but I feel with the vibe and the mood of December, I feel like I actually want this to be more of like a talk on camera kind of vlogmas, where I share lessons that I've learned from life, from my travels, from my experiences as somebody who has built 3 businesses, traveled around the world, explored some of the most beautiful cultures, and still, it's like a global storyteller, globetrotter. And I want to share some of that wisdom with you. And if you're game for that for December, let me know in the comments below. This is the direction I want to go into. But yeah, let me know what you think, and see you tomorrow for the next vlog. Y'all, we're being consistent. We are being consistent, and I love that for me. And also, please just clap for me in the comments, y'all. This is not easy. It's actually kind of hard.